Hopefully over the next 3 or 4 days I should be finishing the XML stuff, and then I can start doing some cool stuff with geometry finally. It's going to take a while though. Whoops. What's up, Jenny Ann? Like working on some really graphic stuff, so. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just, well, so working on some graphic stuff. Pretty terrible with GUI. We'll admit that. I'm actually not that bad with GUI stuff. Just haven't like worked on like iOS like front end stuff in a couple months. So whenever I touch it, I feel it's like almost embarrassing. The last clamp mode is mirror. This is the clamp modes describe like how a texture would be clamped to an object, and like what happens when the renderer tries to access texels that don't have values between 0 and 1. So clamp would map the if you specify the clamp texture wrap mode, that means that like when a fragment shader tries to access like a texel value outside 0 and 1, then it would just return the edge values. For like the color that is returned would be the edge values, and repeat means the texture is like repeated, and basically everything's like modded. And it's like a lot easier. It's a lot easier to describe texture wrapping with pictures. So there we have clamp, repeat, and mirror. Pretty sure I can find something that would explain how texture wrapping works. Yeah, here we go. This explains like perfectly how texture mapping would work. So as you can see, like when the fragment shader goes to like set the pixels, when it reads the pixels from the texture and maps those to an object, if it tries to access a texel outside of the values 0 and 1, then if your texture mode is set to repeat, then it like just simply repeats the texture. If your texture clamping mode is set to If your texture wrapping mode is set to mirrored, then it mirrors the texture. And if your texture wrapping mode is set to clamp, then it like clamps to the edge values and just repeats the value at 0. That's how like texture wrapping works. And right now I'm just like taking these like, so I'm trying to like define like a format that I can use to trying to define like an XML format that I can use to like read the stuff in and then like pretty dynamically like create stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now. And in order to do that, I've got to like be able to like have text values in the XML and then like map those to like enum values. And the only way that I know how to like get this to work, because like I can access these I can like access these values with like integers, but that doesn't make any sense to the user. Like if they've got so I can pull up the XML. So if like a user has to like enter something like, yeah, like instead of entering float 4, they enter like 6574392 or something like that. That doesn't make any sense to a user. So, and that's actually like the value for like float 4 is something like is actually something like that. So in order to like allow the user to like enter text here and have it like actually map to a valid type or like a valid value of the enum, I have to like basically set up these like maps, and then I've got like this tasks target for Spectra, and when I run the tasks target, it like runs through these maps and like generates like dynamically generates like a file that is like read in. So we have a bunch of these. Let's see, I have 5, we got 9 of them. Oops. So I've already like put so much work into this library, I really want to finish it as soon as possible. And I think I'm actually like close to getting to like, or like close to getting to the point where I'm gonna like render stuff. Which like I've already written some like audio visualizations and stuff like that, but it just took so long. I had to like write so much of the same code just to get something to render. And I feel like if I can get this set up, then I'll have like a great like API to use. I thought Xcode had like the multiple cursors thing, because that would really help. Whoopsie. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just gonna like copy this. Move that. Love it when like the multiple cursors thing actually comes in handy. It doesn't really happen all that often, but when it does, it's cool. Bye bye. So now I can like run this task, and it should generate this file right here, which contains like, see, these are the values. So for like float 4, like I could map to the correct like enum like type if the users entered like this bizarre number into the XML, but instead I'd like for them to enter a string. And because I'm like working with like a lower level API from Apple, like I can't use like Swift. You can always like map to the enums with a string value using reflection, but when it's a lower level API, you can't really do that. So I've got this like set up to like auto generate this file. So hopefully I can now auto generate these enums. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. So I think what I'm going to do is try to run this task. Just going to switch this screen. Whoops. Here we go. Alright, so I should just be able to like switch the target here to the tasks targets and then run that. But I think I have to do a few more things before it'll actually spit out the thing that I'm looking for. I'm going to go back to the other screen. And need to go to main.swift. This is like the worst, like, it's like the worst code, but I just needed it to like work. see. Need to update the enums for model IO. There we go. We did figure out what that was. I'm looking for material semantic. Material semantic. And then I've got these other ones to do. Yell property type. I've got texture at mode, filter mode, and bitmap filter mode. So now when I run the task, it should just like automatically generate the file. So build succeeded. Let's hit it. Finish running. So I'm going to look at the XSD file that it should have generated. The only reason oh, there it is. Yeah, so everything looks like it's good to go. The only reason I'm using the XSD stuff is because I was already using it. So, and I might like, I don't know. I wish there was an easier way for me, because like I'm basically like just referring to the model IO and the metal like APIs, and like for example for like the vertex attributes, like I'm just looking at like these properties and I'm trying to like keep everything consistent. And I'm just basically allowing the user to like map directly to these properties. Like I'm not really adding anything at all. I just don't want to have to like create these things like in code. Like I just want to be able to like create like a file, like load an XML file and then like be able to like create, like I just want to be able to read in like definitions for these like files. So, instead of having to like write classes and stuff like that, because that really just gets it becomes like really hard to organize all that code, and then you end up like just like shuffling lines of code all over the place, and like the interface that you choose to go with like ends up restricting like your ability to like create new stuff later on, because you've like built all this code that's like just like you've like created all these classes and like protocols and stuff that are like tightly coupled to each other, so you can't make any changes without making like changes to like a dozen different things. And so I think with this kind of format, like if I can just like read stuff in via XML, then I should be able to, like the code that I write should be pretty dynamic. I should really just delete my internet history. The Comcast is like freaking awesome bandwidth. It's like really just amazing. This is really negative. I feel like it's really hard to get noticed on Twitch. Unless you're doing something really cool like art. What is what's meter? I haven't really created all that many games. Oh. Swift is like tight. It's like strongly typed and very functional. So I mean, I just like using Swift. Like I mean, I really like the programming language. So, I'm gonna make sure that these things are getting loaded correctly. Oh. it. It's like running the tests. Vector.foo. Yeah, why am I even doing this? Where is this test even like written? Let's take me to the go to that thing. Why are my shortcut keys not working? So it works now? Yes! I love it when things do what they're supposed to do. It's pretty awesome. It feels wonderful. You know what else feels great? Checking off things from a to-do list. Pretty cool. Pretty sweet. Hopefully this doesn't screw everything up. Probably will though. Oh, yeah. I love tiling window managers, but I also hate them. Alright, watch this, watch this. Check, 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 check. Done. It's so good. Yes. Just gonna put it over there. Sometimes I make to-do lists and add items after I've actually done the thing, just so I can check something off and feel good about it. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna like add this stuff. I don't know how this foo method got in here, but I'm gonna remove it now. I should probably do that for the metal enums also, because I don't think they are actually correctly mapped. Because like if you look at these like weird values, like user defined is like what, like some random number, 32,000 something, really? And most of them are pretty sane. Like most of them like are just incremented in the order that they are like declared. But these are all like they have this like bit masking pattern set up, which that's cool, but how am I supposed to remember any of these? And the problem is that in this, I just pretty much expected everything to be like normal. So I might have to go back and like generate these also. I mean, that's not going to be that big a deal, but it's kind of a pain to have to go back and do that. And what's even more irritating is that, like, let's see. A lot of this stuff is, like, repeated between, like, Model.io and, I guess it's not irritating, but it's just, like, one more thing I gotta deal with. A lot of this stuff is, like, duplicated in Model.io and Metal. So, like, vertex attribute descriptors, like, yeah, vertex descriptors are defined in both places. And so I have to like convert between the Model.io vertex descriptor and like the Metal vertex descriptors. It's a lot. I should. I guess I should just go ahead and like make that change, because I really want, like, I'm missing like all the color types. If I go scroll all the way down, like I'm missing all of these like metal pixel formats. Like there's supposed to be like 150 of these. And yet, like, I didn't want to like hard code all of these in to just XML, like, and that's why I'm like generating them with the task. If for some reason they were to change, I'd want to be able to like regenerate them quickly. I guess I'll go ahead and do that. Man. This shouldn't take too long though, and I'll feel better if it's like done the right way. Should have just went with p-lists. I don't know why I wanted to go with XML. It's so dumb. Going into operation. I hope I'm like streaming with the right. Okay. Oh. Okay. I thought I was like. I thought I was streaming with the wrong monitor. Glad I'm not doing that. I have like 2 desktops defined, so I can like, or 2 streaming profiles defined. I can switch between my desktops. 2 like scenes defined in OBS. Sometimes I have a habit of like going on like a long monologue about my design and stuff, and then turns out like I'm like referencing files on the wrong monitor, and like nobody can like understand what I'm talking about because I'm not even like streaming the right windows. Pretty dumb. Somebody just made a joke about Valley Girl Swift on the Swift IRC channel. He said if you substitute let with like and question mark postfix with maybe, then you have Valley Girl Swift. It's pretty funny. This really shouldn't take that long. Like I just gotta like transform this stuff and it should be done. Middles. Like, I honestly wish there was a better way to do this, but there's not. Object. If somebody could, like, if somebody knows a better way to do this and I'm wrong, please tell me. A lot of enums and stuff. I don't know how to do the option set types. Or I just haven't really thought about how to do the option set types in like in XML. And I don't I don't really want to think about that. I want to move on. I'm like tired of dealing with like XML. It's like embarrassing. If it was Ruby, I would know how to do the metaprogramming. But like holy oh man, what did I just do with that? Shit. This is great. What did I just... No. What just happened? That's great. Not sure what just happened there. Sorry about that. Alright. Please. Whatever. Trying to like lock the like proportions, but I guess this is not an option. Alright, I don't know what just happened there. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna try to make sure that doesn't happen again. It's like weird. Must have hit the wrong hotkey or something. Alright. This should be fairly easy. Using a combination of Sublime, text, so I'm just gonna like look up some of these like enums are not defined. they're not defined on OS X. Like if you try to access some of these enums, like they're available in iOS, but in OS X they'll throw an error. That's fantastic. Well, it's been fun. Alright. Scripture, blah blah blah. Constant. Middle vertex step function. Right. One down, like 400 to go. Just kidding, this will be easier than it seems. Just go to the definition here in the old API. Like this. Compare. Still a pain though, it is. I know, I'll just write my own 3D rendering engine. Like, great idea. Actually, it's been pretty fun. I've learned a lot, but what am I doing? It would just be great if I didn't have to do all this. Alright. No, don't save it. Stop. Bad. Yes, one down. Excellent. The rest should be pretty easy. like really hoping that I don't run into problems like this. Excellent. This not so bad. So like copied the exact same thing into that. For no reason. Ah, shit. Oh, I've already got metal vertex format queued up. Just need to like delete all the spaces. Oh. Done. Excellent. Alright, metal blend factor. I've forgotten what this does, but this describes like blending for like textures in like a render pipeline. Some of this stuff is like really advanced. Like, I just want to get to the point where I can like play with it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video of like Shia LaBeouf, and he's like, just do it. Except he's like a little bit angrier than that. Well, like, there's one video of him with like a green screen where like his like there's like they like create this like they there's like some really cool video effects, and like I know how it works in my brain, and like I know how to like construct it with metal. Like I know like what objects to create and stuff like that. Like you just create like a chain of like textures, and like it's. I just wish like I could get to the point where I'm actually doing this stuff, because I don't know. I could do like so much cool stuff. Like I've got so many ideas, but I need to set up like this infrastructure of like stuff to get to the point where like I can do it. And I'll show you the video that I mean. It's like there's like a video of him like it's like one of these specific videos where they applied like some effects to it. And I don't seem to be able to find it. I think no, this is it right here. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but right here. Anyway, I'm talking about like these like shadows that are like popping up. Like those. That's what I'm talking about. Like I know how to set that stuff. Like I know how to like get that to work. Like that's easy. It's these like shadows that are cool. This is what I'm talking about. Like I know how to do that. Like you set up like a metal like render pipeline with like a series of like textures that you're like writing to, and they're like chained together, and then you use these blend operations to like blend them together. I really feel like you have these like color attachments, right? And you set up like so each rendering pipeline can have like a series, like an array of color attachments, and you can have one depth attachment, and you can have one like stencil attachment. And you set up like you would need to use like OpenCV or something to like identify, like if you wanted to do it in like an automated fashion from like where you've got like input from a webcam and you're like automatically doing that effect, you can set up like a webcam that's streaming video in. You can use OpenCV to like capture the outline, which should be pretty simple, like if you're using like a green screen or something. And so you capture their outline and store it into a texture, and then you chain those textures together, and you set up those textures as like color attachments in a render color attachment descriptor array, and you like set up like a render pass to like write to each of those textures, and so and then at the end of the render pass, like those textures are written onto a single like final texture, and basically like that's it. And like, yeah, I mean that's how you would do that effect with like metal, which I think is like a pretty cool effect. But like getting that to work with you know, like actually building that out would be pretty complicated. There would probably be some like framework that you would want to do that within, but yeah, there's like a lot of like cool stuff that you can do by setting up like interesting rendering pipelines. which is why like I'm excited about setting this stuff up, because a lot of people like work with like 3D graphics and they just like use like Unity and stuff, and they don't get down into like the shaders or anything. And I'm excited to like learn about like the lower level aspects of it. All right. So now I gotta just do the blend operations. But in order to set up that like effect that I just like showed from like YouTube, you'd have to set up like an array of like color attachments, and then you would like specify like blend operations. And it's like load action I don't think is available on OS X. I guess I'm wrong about that. So I don't know. There's like some features that I've noticed are only available on iOS. So LOD average, whatever that is. If you even try to like access this attribute in OS X, it blows up. Same thing for the depth resolve filter. And there's a couple of like storage modes that are the same way. So load action, store action, any more enums in this. Load action. Boom. What? See, is that? Yeah, this is another one that's like, it's iOS only. Why does that not like show up? Shit. I don't even access those values though. Oh well. Hopefully there's no like build problems here. I'm gonna change my targets. Where's it? What? Sampler, min-mag filter, sampler nip filter, sampler address mode. What is this? Sampler address mode. I guess I did that twice. Oops. No texture type. Boom. Copy and paste. Alright, I'm almost done. Like, so excited about like being almost done. I don't know, I really don't know what to do about this metal texture usage thing. I'm gonna see what I'm doing about that now. Yep. Yeah, I haven't decided on how to specify an option type in XML. And I think really the way to do that is just to have like a customized like tag. What am I doing? Hey, Dark Fury. I don't know why it's offline. Does it say? It looks like I'm on. Like I think I'm online though. Am I online or am I offline? That what? Never mind. Cool. Nobody getting on this on Twitch though, that's for sure. Alright. Isn't this exciting, guys? We are defining XML stuff. This should be one pretty exciting once I get everything done. Little texture usage. Oh, that's right. I don't know what to do about this. Well, actually, I ultimately still need to define this. So. Oh, wait a second. Oh, shit. I don't know if this will really work. I don't know if this will work. Maybe it will. Who knows? Probably need to do that in just a second. Oh, what do you mean? What's he talking about? Ah. Whoops. Take me to the metal resource options. So guys, there's no music because I feel like drum and bass is probably a little bit too much for people, and then also like my backup videos got taken offline, which was kind of frustrating because I had copyrighted music. I really didn't think that I've like looked into Shazam's like music identification algorithm, and it's not really able to identify music that's like been distorted by like mixing and stuff. But apparently there are algorithms that can do that, so they may have like updated that recently or something. But I was like playing like a drum and bass mix, and I thought it would be fairly safe, but I was wrong. So I'm just playing music on my iPhone. It's pretty awesome though. Alright, so I'm like pretty close to getting finished here. I just don't know that like, see, some of these things I can't access from within OS X. And then the pixel format's gonna be a little bit. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. It'll take a little bit of work. Gosh. See what I'm saying? There's like all these like options, and they don't have like normal like they don't have like incrementing values. So I need to like have a program that like generates this metadata. And the metadata shouldn't change, but I just want to like generate it like this so that it's easier to maintain in case it changes. It would take just as much work either way for me to do this. Like even if I did it if I did it by hand. Or if I had created like an automated means of doing this. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just like creating an automated way of doing this. I think this should be all of them. Oh, shit. Oh boy. Alright, cross my fingers for no symbol not defined errors. And it looks like I'm good. Looks like I'm good to go. Sweet. Excellent. Build has succeeded. Now I just gotta figure out how to do this. Metal resource options. Boom. It's like an option set tag, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. What do we got? These are ones. Boom. Oh my god. Alright. Come on. Yeah. Alright, now I just have to get this to construct. I'm gonna create a new resource here. Boom. Now I just want a file. I don't care what kind of file it is. I really don't. It's metal enums.xsd. Boom. Was that main.swift? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Wrong file. Here we go. Excellent. blend factor. So how about them elections? Shit's getting crazy. I don't understand what is going on. If somebody can clue me into what is going on in the elections, I would be very happy. No idea. I don't understand. I feel like everybody should read Plato's Republic. It's a very good idea. Because I think we're approaching just, I don't know. There's like a procession of like forms of government that Plato like talks about. And it's Plato's 5 regimes in Book 8 of the Republic. And it's aristocracy, democracy, oligarchy, democracy, and tyranny. And it's just kind of like the natural like order of things. And I mean, it starts out with like aristocracy, and let's see, and then degenerates into democracy when then like so after everyone gets comfortable with like plentiful resources and stuff like that, they tend to like the next generation like doesn't really develop the same like virtues, and so the next generation is like more inept, and then like that degrades into oligarchy eventually, where like a small number of people control like pretty much everything, and then I don't know. It's really interesting view on things. Democracy is where like everybody figures out that they can like basically vote to like they have the power to like vote to give themselves whatever they want, and so they do, and they don't realize that everything like has like a cost, and that sometimes it's like not possible for a government to like provide the things that its like citizens decide that it wants, and then that devolves into tyranny and like mob rule basically. Basically what happened to like Athens. I define this in the same way. Come on, man. Let's constrain the type there. Alright, and so now we should have stuff in here. Excellent. Decent. Except I'm about to remove the need for this XSD file. Shit. Alright. Now I should be able to use like pretty much any pixel format that I want. That's nice. I think I should just be able to replace this fairly easily. By just doing this. Doing that, and that's pretty much it. I think. Because I haven't actually implemented this stuff. I'm just going to change my target to my test target and hope that everything doesn't break. It really shouldn't, but so we're building the test target, now we're testing the test target, and oh, I have to update, I have to add these to the targets. Shit. So now I should get past that error. Oh no, this is good. I think I need to know whether or not it actually executed any of the other tests. Just gonna like comment all of this out just for now. I just want to know that, oh, excellent. It's awesome. It's like everything else is still passing. This is why I test. I mean, it doesn't seem like I'm testing that much, but like I wrote, like I know that my tests are like, they cover, certain things, and I changed the implementation, and I know that all of those things are still covered. I don't have to go through each of, like, this is like several hundred lines of stuff. I mean, these tests aren't really perfect, but I mean, like, I don't have to go into each thing and like make sure it still works, even though I made some like, not radical changes, but fairly, I made some like pretty large changes. My brain is just like dead. It's done. And I don't know why. Like, I have no idea. Man, that health insurance stuff, isn't it great? I'm like, doctor, I think there's something really wrong with me. And they're like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, no, really. And like, my experience in like certain unnamed workplaces, it definitely didn't help. Thanks a lot, guys. I was like basically homeless. And they all knew. They all knew that I was homeless. Like literally like homeless, like I've just started a new job. Like 3 weeks in, and I'm like homeless trying to find somewhere to live, and no one gives a shit. It was like really like the most fucked up experience that I've had in my life. Anyways. Alright, so go to targets. Well, let me just go ahead and like take care of this. Take care of the rest of this with one fell swoop. So we're in the metal kit documentation. Trying to see if there's any enums that I might need here. Just in case. I mean, it looks like it really doesn't. Like, it looks like I don't really need this stuff. Or I don't need to make a metal kit enums file. There we go. Oh, yeah. Undo that. The answer is no, there are no enums there. That's like one thing that I cannot like live without is being able to like dig into like the source code, like with like what I just did. It's pretty essential. Where did I go? And another thing that I wanted to pull in were like metal performance shaders. Are the performance shaders only available in iOS? Is that what it is trying to tell me? Ah, that's kind of frustrating. Oh man. Oh hey, what's up, Dark Fury? It looks like the metal performance shaders are only available in iOS, so that's kind of a bummer because I've got to think about how to like integrate that into the library so that so I can, because I actually need to use those. It's got edge detection? What? This is what I'm talking about. This stuff is awesome. Like, I'm so excited. I don't know what Sobel edge detection is, but it sounds really cool. Yeah. Holy shit, man. That actually looks like really good, like, edge detection. Ah, I'm so excited. It uses 2 kernels? Oh. Oh. Yeah. Yep. Ugh! Almost spilled my hummus. Almost lost that shit. But I didn't. Really? It says I'm streaming. To me, it looks like I'm still streaming. You're not seeing that? You can do some really cool stuff with edge detection. You can think called hidden messages. Not really. Shh. Oh no! I just closed it. Who's this guy doing Swift? Uh-oh. Oh, I've watched this guy before. He's pretty good, actually. You guys want to watch me watch livecoding.tv? No? I don't know, dude. I'm able to get it. Never mind. Sorry, dude. Yeah, man, I don't know. Unless I have some kind of, like, see, I don't trust Flash, man. Gosh. Yeah, I'm not using, oh, yeah, there it is. Let me try and see if I'm, like, having problems here. You know, I don't even have an option for a Flash plugin, actually. Huh. I don't know, I don't have an option for that. Hmm. Yeah, I configured my plugins to like block Flash on and block all plugins on most things. I've been doing that for like 3 years. I really need to figure out how to do this stuff. Alright, now I'm getting like some errors because I wish there was a better way to write this code. Like in Ruby, like I would know how to do it. So it's saying that it did not get this. It's fine because it's kind of what I expected. I don't even think I'm using that. Or yeah, I am. I tried to use auto injection, which is like where you like define. It's like you read in a file with dependency injection, and you can like modify how the. You can like add new parsers for like new kinds of objects, like as you're parsing a file for dependency injection, which like it's pretty complicated, but in terms of like security, is probably not a good idea. So I tried adding that, and then it turns out I could not. But I'm still trying to figure out how, because I want my users to be able to like define new kinds of objects. I'm trying to figure out what the best way to do that is. I mean, it's really hard because you're not like allowed to like pass like class type. Like it's not so easy to just be like, you know, treat this object as like any class or as any kind of type until like the end when I want the user to be able to specify that they want to cast this object as a certain type. Like I've tried that. You can do that sometimes, but it doesn't seem to work out very well. And I know that there's like easier ways to do what I'm trying to do, but I don't have like the luxury of being able to like work with people. Like I want to move to like New York City or like San Francisco, but then at the same time, like I don't want to give up on like you know, living here. I don't know. All I know is I just gotta like keep working hard at this until I'm done and like don't do anything else. Don't start any new projects. It's dumb. Until I at least have something to like worth showing people with this. Probably a lot of stuff. I would like to have a lot of like little projects based on this. Oh fuck. No, bring it back. I also want to be able to like explore like setting up my own like stereoscopic rendering, which isn't that hard. Like Apple basically does it for you. Like you already get enough stuff with the model MDL camera. Oh my god! I'm about to have like an orgasm just thinking about this stuff. Like I'm like, oh, like what if I could like, because like Apple does all this stuff with like physical lens stuff. So like you can set up like a renderer to like mimic the exact like specifications of a camera, like of a camera and its like physical lens type, and then uh, and then you can like set up like imaging surface to have like certain like you can set up like a flash to like and set up like an exposure time and stuff. And you can set like a specific like color and stuff for your flash or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what this stuff is. I just know that like it would be so awesome if I can do it. And then on top of all of this, you got the stereoscopic camera. And so you can do all this like physical lens stuff like with the stereoscopic camera. Oh my god. Like you could set up like the coolest fucking like you could do you can like create a renderer with fucking like fisheye distortion, but stereoscopic fisheye distortion. Like holy shit. Like would that not be fucking cool to like oh my god, it would be so cool. To be in like VR and everything's like fisheye. But it's like it looks like it's real, but it's all been like distorted. Like, oh, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do like really cool stuff that like you can't even do in like reality. Like you can't like I'm trying to like so for example, like taking like a 3D object that's being like stereoscopically rendered and like distorting the mesh of that 3D object such that like so you could like move around like as you move like the object that you're looking at, which is being rendered stereoscopically, also like moves. But let's say like the space that we're simulating is not like one to one with like the real physical world. So like when you move and this object's like being rendered, it looks like just bizarre, unnatural things are happening. But it all looks real because it's being like stereoscopically rendered. But everything like, oh my god, you can do so much cool stuff, and I'm trying to do it because I haven't seen anybody do anything like what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about like rendering like different kinds of spaces, like I don't even know what this stuff is called, but like I can see it in my head, and it's impossible to explain to someone. They're like, nobody knows what I'm talking about. Oh my god. I feel like I'm starting to get it. Like I just have to bang this stuff out. Man, this is annoying because the documentation said, oh yeah, the field of view is exactly 54 degrees. And no, it was not 54 degrees. It was like 53.99999 degrees. It took me forever to figure that out. I was like, why is this float like like when I print the float out, it says it's exactly 54 degrees. Like, nope. So I'm probably going to see that one again here. Left vergence and right vergence. This is so that you can render stereoscopic video for people that have like lazy eyes, which is actually like a very important accessibility feature. Like whatever like 3D goggles that you're using, like if that does not have a camera in it for eye tracking, you're missing out like on so much. Like you're missing out on like analytical data because you can like observe like what people are looking at in virtual reality, which provides like that provides like analytic information, that provides like information on that provides information for user interactions. It provides and it provides accessibility so that you can render stuff for people that have lazy eyes or whose eyes like don't really like, I don't know, because if you can't like, because like as you're in virtual reality you're gonna be looking around and stuff, and if you don't change like what you're rendering based on where someone is like literally like looking with their eyes, I'm sure it leads to some problems. I've never even worn like an Oculus Rift. Like, I just now got Google Cardboard. I just now, this weekend, I went to VT Hacks. Finally got Google Cardboard. Been trying to fucking get something like this for the longest time. Except I can't really do much with it because, like any VR system that does not have a 3D camera set up on it is a waste of money. Whatever VR equipment comes out, like it needs to have a 3D camera on it. If it does, like if your VR headset does not have a 3D camera on it, waste of money. Whoops. And yeah, I'm talking about Oculus Rift. Fucking like I don't understand. Like just put a 3D camera on it. It doesn't even have to be that good. Just fucking put a 3D camera on your fucking VR headset. What are you, retarded? Like you can do so much stuff with VR if you just have a 3D camera. And if you don't have it, like it's so stupid. It really is like, I don't understand. Like, and there is a huge difference between VR and AR, and I get that. Like, Oculus Rift is supposed to be like, just like VR. And, good for them. They're going to focus on VR. And, but to me, like, VR is like nothing. It doesn't even, like, VR, like, you have to, like, stilt it with, like, so many different, like, things just to make it, like, social. And it's like, if you can't interact with, like, other people, or if you need, like, someone there to, like, babysit you to make sure you don't trip over furniture and shit, like, that's a problem. Like, that is not how, like, there's ways around this. There's ways around those kind of problems, but, like, that's not how the technology was intended to be. And like people don't like I don't think people get that. Like I think people are starting to get that like as they use the technology. And I have like such like a great like imagination. And I don't know. I'm like so incredibly creative, but like our culture like it claims that people that are creative are like rewarded, but like I don't get it. Like literally like I don't understand. I think I can do this. I hope I can do this. Oh man, it's just. What do you mean? Is it self.node type? Yes? No. No, but I don't want to. Yes. And I don't understand, like, how do I get in the position where, like, I can, like, be creative and get paid for it? Like, I don't understand. Like, how do I do that? Because I deserve it. Alright, there we go. Yay. Alright, now I'm just gonna, like, parse it as though it was one of those nodes anyways. It sucks. Like, do I copy and paste it? Or do, really don't want to do that. Man. It's really just like is the epitome of all my problems with this project anyways. Like, I can either parse it as a camera and like reuse this chunk of code, or I can just like copy and paste this chunk of code and put it in here. But if I parse it as a camera, and then like then I have to go back and like mention each of these properties anyways. It's so dumb. I don't know what to do. I don't think I can like wonder if I can do this camera node. So basically parse the node as though it is a camera, which would return a camera. And then just try to cast it. So I'm basically going to parse it as though it's a camera. And then just do cam as, I don't know if I'll be able to do that, though. I don't know if that'll really work. I guess I'll find out. It doesn't really feel very good. Oh, how did I do that? And like I would mess around with this Google Cardboard stuff, but like these numbers right here are like so dependent on like your VR headset's like form factor. There's so many problems with VR. There really are. It is very complicated. What is it? Unless I could like create. No, I can't do that. I just hope I don't have to go through this camera and then like manually like assign all of the properties, because there's like 30 properties. And it just seems like there's a better way to do this XML parsing, but I can't figure out like these properties aren't even really going to be set in XML though. I'm just going to add it in here. It's just so frustrating to me to like write code that is just like, it mirrors everything that's in the Metal API. And I keep saying, like, if it was just in Ruby, like, I know how to do that. Because with Ruby, you can just use the send method everywhere and, like, dynamically name methods. And I know that that is true. Like, I know that I can do it with Swift. I just don't know if I don't know exactly how to do that. And two, like, I don't know, I don't know if it would be a good idea to do it. I don't know if it would really work out the same as it would with like Ruby. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to run the tests, and it's probably going to fail in the same place. And I'm still no closer to doing meshes, and that's really what I want to do. Where's this? Where are we? Where is the error? Oh, I didn't fill it out. What is field of view? Oh, I'm going to change that to like 60. Oh, I didn't even want that. And we're going to give it a physical lens. We're going to give it the one with distortion. Like a fisheye lens on it. Oh, it's not what I wanted to see. This means that we cannot cast a, cannot like downcast. I should have known that. Man, that really sucks. God. sucks so much. I just basically have to like iterate over each property, but there's like 30 properties. Waiting for the autocomplete to hurry up and catch up to me. There we go. Oh no. There's got to be a better way to do this. We're starting with the near visibility, far visibility, and field of view. There's gotta be a better way. Does anybody know a better way to do this? I'm like upcasting, I'm not like downcasting. Or no, I am downcasting. I'm just gonna check and see if there is a better way to do this. There should be. Yeah. Yes. I wish there was a better way to do this, but it looks like, I mean, I tried to downcast it and it failed, so this is the stuff that I can't stand. This calls for Sublime. I guess it's not that bad. I mean, it's just frustrating. I just asked on IRC, so hopefully somebody knows the answer to this. Although this really isn't that bad. As long as I don't have to type all of this out, I'm fine. I'm tired of typing all this verbose stuff. I want to actually get to like programming with Z Graphics. Boom. Like I know how to do all this stuff with like Emacs. Like I just now started getting like comfortable with Emacs. I know how to do like find and replace very easily, and I would love it because it uses somebody just messaged on IRC. It uses like grep and alt to do stuff, which is pretty awesome. But now that I'm doing iOS, I can't really. I mean, I guess I could use Emacs, but I don't really feel like it. Love how nobody answers my questions on IRC. To be fair, it's only been like 5 seconds. I don't know like who to ask though. The questions that I have are always so complicated. Alright, so now it should probably fail somewhere else. Jesus Christ. Oh shit. Oh, I haven't specified that. Okay. I should probably want to do something. Yeah. No, Sublime, I don't want to save that file. There. Why does it do that? I don't like how that looks. Oh well. I guess it's just how it's gonna be. Yeah. Oh no. It's more of these like floating point problems. Look at this, look at this. It's like, he said I can't read the failure. Thanks a lot. It's like, shit. They got nil? What are you talking about? I don't know what it's doing here. Ah. Focal length and F dash stop. That's the kind of stuff that I like to catch early on, even though it's not really that important. But yay. Just won the game. Now we're down to one failure. I know what it is. I'm okay with it. This is so funny. There's this guy I know, and he like accidentally talks. He like talks in an English accent, but doesn't mean to apparently. But apparently it's contagious because now I'm starting to do it. I mean, it's not that bad. Like it's just It's really not a bad problem to have. Although I guess if I could pick like an accent to speak in like unintentionally, it would probably be like Afrikaans. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Oh man. Somehow I'm keeping it together. I made $3,000 last year. I'm keeping it together. Oh no, what the fuck? Oh yeah. Man. So the original buffer index stored in index, and then I changed the buffer index. And then I went to test that what? Oh, expected to equal 0. These things, I'm gonna want to like request a I'm gonna use dependency injection. I'm gonna say like, oh, like give me this vertex descriptor, and really I want a copy of that vertex descriptor because I don't want to like any mutations that like I make to that vertex descriptor. I don't want to like still be around when I ask for the same vertex descriptor again. So we gotta figure out how to make copies of things, and I don't know like God, this sucks. Because preferably I'd like to fix this problem in as few places as possible. I just don't think that's in the cards. I'm gonna figure out like the best way to do that. So when I register stuff with dependency injection, actually, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to fix. Because this like runs every time. Well, how is this working? Yeah, this runs every time I try to get a dependency. God. So I guess I could, I mean, I can just make a copy here. But the problem is, like, I can't just, like, do .copy. I have to do a deep copy. And then like it'd be great to like modify these classes, but I don't think like I should really modify the base classes, which means I need to like add this like arbitrary static object like everywhere. Man, that sucks. I wonder if this runs. And then I've got to go back and fix it in all these other places. That sucks. Wow, I just fixed my test too. I didn't actually expect to do that. Yeah. Alright. It's not that bad, but it reflects a problem that is like everywhere in my source code. Because if these things are not like truly immutable, like I'm gonna have problems everywhere, like literally everywhere. And I could always like do this, like I could leave this up to the developer, and so they could like understand that this is like a mutable copy of whatever object it is, and that they need to make it immutable. But I think I would just rather have like I would rather have the developer understand that like everything they get out of this thing is immutable. Or it's not immutable, but it's like you're not gonna have you're not gonna have like all these like weird reference problems. But oh god, then that means that I have to like shit. It's not that big of a deal, but it's just it creates a lot of problems if I decide like, hey, I'd like to change my interface. I'd like to change the API for these classes. If I have to write code that like for like deep copying stuff, like fuck, that sucks. It doesn't suck so much like to do it once, but to do it once and then like make like an unrelated mistake down the road and then want to change it later, then like if I've done that for like 50 classes, like that sucks. Like it's already enough work to have to like, oh shit. Like I'm finally at the point where I really regret not like. It's not that I regret not having a degree. It is that I regret not having like 3 to 4 years of time just completely surrounded by people like solving these problems. Because I would just like I would know so much more. Like I would know exactly like how to go about solving like these problems. Simply because like they would be things that I had solved before. Like, and I would have been like surrounded by people like. It's like web applications are not hard. Like you don't. Like, this sucks. I would go back to Virginia Tech, but like my GPA is so low that it's like it's pointless, and I don't know what to do. Like I wish I could just like select like go through my transcript and just like selectively like delete certain things and be like, can I have a mulligan, guys? Because like being in college would be like really good for me. I would be around people, like especially like a college like Virginia Tech. It would be like the place. If I was going to go to school in Virginia, it would be the school to go to. But that's impossible now. I don't really want to like study. Like my GPA is like literally like it's like 1.2. Like it is so bad that there's no saving it. Like there's no way that like it doesn't matter how many like A's I get in classes after that. Like, and I'm basically not allowed to join a major because my GPA is so low. It sucks. Most of these objects are pretty easy to. They're pretty trivial to copy. Like, camera has no dependent objects. I don't think. No, this sucks. I'm about to give up. Instead of like, come way too far to do that. Come far. I just like I really just need to be locked in a room for like a week, and with nothing else to do but work on this, and absolutely no interruptions. I've been like doing pretty good for the past 2 weeks on this stuff, but I still haven't. I would like to put like 60 hours a week into working on this project until I'm like finished with it. Oh wait a second. Well, if the vertex descriptor was constructed with copies of the vertex attributes, well, no, I still do need to make a deep copy. Oh, shit. I'm not looking forward to this. What do you mean I can't do a dot copy? What? Why? It's because it's a NS object. Yes, take me to that thing. Make it an NS object. Whatever that is. Guess I'm not gonna use guess I'm not gonna use this on Linux. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, Apple. Don't be mad. Don't be mad at me, Apple. I didn't mean it. Oh shit. Let's make me to the dot copy. Aha. Dot copy. Aha. Alright, Spectra physical lens. There we go. Excellent. I like it. Those objects weren't bad because they're flat. Like, the physical lens object doesn't have any objects that it depends on, but like, doing a deep copy for like a Model IO asset or something, that's gonna be a pain. I guess I'll add it here. Oh wait, maybe there is a copy function. Oh, there are. Oh, that's magical. Yay. Yes. So this is like the only object that happens on, I think. At least I didn't write the function. Perfect. Yes. Please tell me that happens on other objects. Yeah, it just really doesn't occur anywhere else. But alright, here's some other stuff that's easy. The scattering function, it's easy. Except I don't need to do that. Like, it is going to be a long time before I do anything with lighting. Lighting it's not hard, like I understand it. And 2 months ago, I couldn't really say that I understood lighting, but now I do. But it's going to be a long time before I get to lighting. But I guess I might as well do it. Oh no! Why does it keep doing that? Like, got this monitor, and it's pretty old. It's from 2007, but it's worked pretty well. And then now, like, I have all these weird problems with it, like where I'll plug it in, and I have to like run through this list of little things that I have to do to get it to work. Like, I have to like plug it into my computer, turn the monitor off and on, and then unplug it from my computer, and then like plug it in real quick, and then it works. And I have to do the same exact thing every single time. And now it's like I'll stand up from my chair, and my monitor turns off. I think it's because like somewhere along the way, like my electronics are not properly grounded, and oh god, I have this like space heater, and that almost started a fire like a month ago. I had a space heater plugged into the wall, and like I still have the plug. I have this like plug that converts from like 3 prongs to 2 prongs, and like the space heater was like drawing too much power or something, and like it really could have like there were like burn marks on like the converter. Like, it could have started a fire. I kept like smelling this like weird scent. It was like burning plastic, and I was like, where is this burning plastic smell coming from? Well, it was because the space heater was like about to cause a fire. And I and then I tried to tell people about this, and they're like, yeah, whatever. I don't even care. Like a fire. Probably finish writing the test before I do this, but I don't really care. I'm trying to do this as fast as I can. Because once I get past this XML stuff, I can actually start working on like rendering pipelines and stuff like that. And hopefully I don't run into any really irritating problems when I get to that. It's probably why I should slow down and like implement some things, but that's really slow. Material property. You know what, we can just copy that. Everything works out just fine. I try to tell people, no idea how that works. Oh shit, where's that? Oh. The scattering function. Parse the things. What? Scat function. I'm not gonna name it that. Scattering function. shader. Okay. Oh man. What things does a scattering function have? Oh, it's got a lot of stuff. It's got base, color, emission, specular, material, index of refraction. See, after I finish with this library, and finish up with this graphics shit, I'm gonna know what all of this means. And I kind of know what like a refractive index is. I mean, it's like if light hits something like glass, like it changes its like direction a little bit, and then when it exits the glass, it like returns to the same like direction. I need to move this logo. It's a lambda heart. Like I keep like getting my head stuck behind here. I'm like trying to explain it with my hands, but like nobody can like see anything I'm doing. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah. Index of reflection. That index of refraction. That just like tells you like how much light bends when it like enters something. I'm sure that's like an overly simplified explanation of what that actually is. There was this like guy that was working at the collab where I work, who was doing something. Oh yeah, he was like working on like lighting code. But he was using the CPU, but he was like writing code that would basically calculate lighting. You know, even though like the lighting was hitting like, I mean, his code worked for like partially translucent like objects where like the light would, you know, like if you have like glass but it's like rough on the edges, you know, it's like rough on the outside, like his code would work to where like the rays would like hit the glass and like refract through it, but it would like account for like a rough surface so that like some of the light like hits, you know, the glass and like goes through, and some of the light doesn't, and like instead is reflected. There's like some of this like material stuff is really hard, and this code seemed to like work really well. Seemed to be very realistic. And he was doing that like 2 months ago. Now I'm like, that was like when I decided to go on like a tangent to like try to do like computer vision, which was like, that was fun, but it would be different if I was getting paid for this stuff, or if like this is what I was just, you know, supposed to do, but it's not. I'm like not getting paid for this at all. I'm like hoping that I'll get like a job from like a better job, not just a fucking web development job, by being able to do some of this like graphic stuff and by like learning the math that like it involves. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this. Or that like I'll like be able to like, I don't know. What was that last one? Specular? Is that what that was? I don't know if I really want to like elaborate on game ideas. I mean, I've got a couple of game ideas, but I don't know. They're not like great. One of them involves knot theory. That's about all I can share about that. I'm hoping to like learn about physics by doing this. I'm like tired of like not knowing things. It's really annoying. What? What do you mean it's read only? What the fuck, man? Great. Well, how do you do that then? It's fuck, man. Ugh. This really sucks. I know that you're supposed to be able to use scattering functions to be able to use scattering functions to create a material. But I think you create the material first and then create the scattering function from the material. Except for the material, like, like the material's properties are all read-only also. Or no, they're not. Why is this locked down anyways? Oh. But I mean, I still don't understand why it's locked down. I didn't realize that those are... Hmm. Shit. I should do a material property first, but I don't. Probably not even do. I'm not really sure. Probably just like a mobile game or something. I don't really imagine that it would make very much money. That's why I'm not excited by game development because who is David Doomy? There's a. I'm not really excited about or game development because I don't really see that there's any money in it. Like it doesn't seem like it seems like if you created like a really awesome game, like you might make like you might invest like 6 months on it, and you might make like $20,000. Those number like the level of risk and the level of reward for like indie games are not appealing at all to me. Yeah, we were just talking about like video games and why I don't want to develop video games, and it's mainly has to do with like the fact that you're probably not gonna make very much money on a video game. If the level of risk is really high, the level of reward is really low. Unless you're just doing it because you love making video games, then like by all means, like if you love video games that much, me, I love money. I really like, and I actually don't like money very much. I just like I want to have a lot of money because I want to like change things. I want to like be like, here's what I'd like to do. Here's how I would like the world to change, and then I might have enough money to make that happen. That's why I'm hoping to like launch like a startup or something like that. Because without money, how are you gonna make things change? I really don't know if I should bother with the material stuff because I'm not going to use materials for a while. Like, I have so many other things to worry about before I get to lighting material and stuff like that. So I guess the first thing that material property has is you can't You can't write to the type. That's great. You can only read from it. So I guess I have to know what type it's going to be. So the first thing to do is read the type. Type, get the semantic. Whatever. This is going to look like it's going to have a type. Type. How do I do that? I just don't really understand how to like determine the type based on the semantic. My stream is down or something. So this object doesn't really seem that great to build with XML, honestly, but I guess I'm gonna try to do it anyway. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna do. Does it mean I have to know the value when I create it, or at least have to know the type when I create it? And so I guess I can do that. Damn it. Some of these properties are nullable and some of them are not. So that makes things a little confusing. I might just like branch this stuff for materials and stash it because I'm really not like I'm not going to be doing anything with materials for a minute. Yeah, it is. It was pretty challenging to learn Metal because they're really like there's some stuff out there now, and like a lot of the Apple documentation is really good, but it was a little bit challenging to find examples and stuff. And I don't really know why that is because the framework is really good. It just I think graphics in general is like low level graphics in general is like really hard to learn. Mm. I'll be right back, guys. Just gotta go take a break for a second. I will be back in about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. For real though. I'll be back in 10 minutes. You gonna take a real quick burrito break? Put a little intermission picture up. Or maybe not. I thought I had one. Maybe not. Hey guys, I'll be right back. Like I said, I'm just gonna cut the stream for a second.